Time is running out, and we are getting closer and closer to 10,000 days. In fact, by the end of this video, less than 200 days will remain. And despite that, there are still things that I have never done in this world, not even once, such as interacted with a campfire. 9,776 days, and I have finally used a campfire. I've also never cleaned a shulker box. I'll be honest, I didn't even know that this was possible. And another one is that I have 0 deaths. I've never died. So let's go ahead and get that one checked off the list. What? You thought I was going to wait till day 10,000 to end it all? Well, you're right. This was just a random world. This is my first time ever triggering a trapped chest. My first time cleaning a banner. And it's the first time cleaning some armor. Yeah, have you guys noticed that I don't really like cleaning stuff? I've also never crafted or used a recovery compass, probably because they're kind of useless in Minecraft Hardcore. Also, you guys are always telling me to make one. I don't know why you always want me to have one. It literally points to nowhere. But yeah, there are still a lot of loose ends in this world that I need to tie up. For a start, so many of you guys want me to build a Knuckles and a Shadow statue next to Sonic and Tails. So, I'm going to remove a few trees and grab a load of red concrete so that I can build Knuckles. And then, if I grab a load of black concrete, I can also build Shadow the Hedgehog. And there we have it. I think they all look pretty cool there, don't they? Maybe eventually I'll build Eggman, but for now, that's enough. And for the next thing that I want to sort, you see this mega base? Well, in it, there is a tunnel which leads to the concrete storage. A tunnel which for some reason I just never completed. So the next plan is to grab a load of different colored concretes and then make this whole corridor look much, much nicer. And that is the tunnel completed. Yeah, it looks so much better than it did before, being a random stone thing. I could have maybe added a little bit more decoration to the walls and the roof. But you know what? I like it. Looks like there'll just never be something in this corridor. That's a shame, but we've done enough. And whilst I'm completing tasks on my to-do list, because, hey, if I'm finishing the series, this world needs to be finished and ready for you guys, because I will put a world download out at the end. But this nether hub, it's got a problem. Whenever I want to go to the stronghold, I go through here, fly down. It's such a convoluted way, isn't it? Fly down, across, and into this portal right there. So what I think I should probably do is add some sort of tunnel coming out of here. Have we got a full... Okay, we have a slightly full inventory. Hold on 1 second. Let's just offload all of these items. And then I can properly explain how the expansion is going to go. My idea is to get rid of this compartment here, so it's more of a doorway instead. And that doorway is then a tunnel which will connect not to this portal here, which is a chunk loader. No, it's going to bypass that one. And instead line up with this one. I'm pretty sure if I move this upwards and to the side, it should all fit fine. All I'm really missing at this point is a load of polished blackstone, so we'll grab that. Do I want to... I probably will need more warped wart as well, and the basalt. So I shall grab everything and begin the tunnel expansion. I'm directly above the portal that I need to replace, so I'm going to dig down... I missed the portal. How did I do that? Let's try again. But yeah, I'm going to mine this up, and then the plan is to rebuild it exactly there. I don't know why I have so many broken portals around here, by the way. But yeah, the plan is to build it exactly there, and hopefully it will still connect perfectly to the stronghold. If it doesn't, then I'm going to be kind of going back to the drawing board with this one. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. So we're going to have some sort of system, I think, like this. I might end up making it a little bit taller, but for now, let's just make sure that it works. So, light it up with a bit of flint and steel. Let's head on through. And the answer is, it looks like it connects absolutely perfectly. Do you like my stronghold, by the way? Very, very cool, isn't it? And just to make sure, I'll check that it's working on the way. But okay. So we have an issue here where the chunk loader is firing items through, and I don't need a chunk loader anymore. The ender pearls do the chunk loading for you. So if I head over here, flick that lever, it should switch it all off. And then I can break this new portal which was created by the items. That's that out of the way. There's yet another portal here that doesn't need to be here now, basically. And I'm pretty sure that means that when we head this way, it connects fine. And when we go back, it connects fine as well. Perfect. That means that this is all ready. I'm going to add, without going through the portal, I'm going to add warped wart behind it. And I also need to kind of dig out this level, because this is where more warped wart is going to be in between these pillars. So I have a plan. I've got most of it in place. I've just got to pretty much go behind and make it all look good. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't quite line up as well as I would have hoped. I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to move the portal 2 blocks left and hope that it still connects. Because what we'll do is we'll have a pillar going downwards like that, and then we'll have the portal behind it right here. Just means I've got to do more obsidian mining. I thought those days were behind me. Here's the moment of truth. So far, so good. We've gone through the right way this way round, and if we want to go back... Yeah, it's worked fine. Okay, that's great news. Next, I can get all of the pillars in. Then the polished blackstone slabs, followed by chains and lanterns. Okay, that side's done. It feels a little bit narrow, doesn't it? But what can you do? It's got to go in this gap. So let's now do the exact same thing on this side. This is also looking pretty good. Now for the roof, I will need to mine it out a little bit. Let me just see how it's done in here. Okay, so yeah, it's warped warp blocks and then stairs connected in. I haven't really got the space for that, have I? Well, I suppose I have. Let's give it a go. First things first, it all needs digging. I could also really do with a stone cutter because that'll allow me to make the polished stairs much easier, and it's a bit more efficient. You lose blocks if you use a crafting table to make stairs. This middle strip can also... Is this the highest I can reach? Oh, that's perfect. That makes it very easy indeed, because I can just go all the way till the end, and then Okay, this is a little bit more annoying, but I guess if I just... if I jump and I'm smart with the way I place it, we can nicely fill all of that in, meaning just the stairs are remaining. And whilst I'm here, I might as well fix this. I don't remember exactly why I broke so much stuff over there. I think it was with moving hoglins or something like that. And I just never repaired it. I also did have to break a bunch of portals because they were connecting wrong. Yeah, there's been a few things going on around here. I think I'm going to leave that open still because I will need to away in and out of this hub every now and again. But I think, for the most part, that's all of that sorted. I can drop off a lot of junk, which is not needed anymore for the project. And then I'll pick up a stone cutter. I've been noticed, I seem to be stealing stuff. I've nicked a smithing table from over there. And there's meant to be another stone cutter. I need to stop stealing them and not bringing them back. I think that could be my toxic trait, ladies and gentlemen. I'll remember to bring this one back. I promise you, I'll put that one back and any others that I've taken as well. But first things first, let's get this little corridor done. It looks a little strange at the moment without half the stairs. So, we need to just go here, grab... I guess if we just grab a stack of them for now, we're going to make polished ones. So that makes exactly a stack in return. That's why it's a lot more... efficient. So let's go ahead and place all of this. And look at that. Even had a few to spare. Does it look a little strange being staircased up? Possibly. But you know what? We're just going to live with it. We're sticking with it now, guys. It's not like I go down there all the time. It's better than what it was before, wasn't it? Where I had to go a weird direction and do things that I didn't want to. I was going to say, I knew somewhere there was a bit that wasn't right as well. This is where a random portal... Portals are the bane of my life in the Nether. A random portal decided to generate me right there, which is very strange, and completely replace the roof and ruin it. So that will need replacing, but I'll have to go and get the warp blocks to do that. There's also, I think, something down here that's not quite right. Is it just the fact that there's a chest? The chest might even be gone. No, there is a chest. I knew there was a chest here that doesn't need to be here. It's just a pointless chest. There's a lot of chickens in here, by the way. Don't ask why. I've got random junk that goes there. I even use it to get eggs. It's actually officially like a squid farm, so it gets me ink sacs. But the chickens... I don't know how they ended up in there, and now it's just an egg farm as well. Bit of a happy accident. I don't think that ender chest needs to be there. That portal is fine. And to fix that hole that I just made, I'm going to need some warped warp blocks. I could nip back home and get some, but the fact is there's a warped forest right here that's already been desecrated, so I might as well steal about 10 pieces from that. It's not going to take me long. I'm not even going to... You know what? It's going to be even quicker if I go like that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Might as well speed things up wherever possible. And in my opinion, that now puts the Nether Hub in a finished state. It had so many things on it that just needed sorting out, and I think now I'm really happy with where it is. As promised, I'm going to put the stone cutter back right there. I'm also going to go ahead and craft one more of them. So we need 3 stone, an iron ingot, and a crafting... Okay, apparently... Well, I'm not saying I've never crafted one before, because I clearly have. But when you downgrade your world, you'll lose all your crafting recipes history and have to recraft stuff for it to show up. But I thought it's funny, it just looks like I've... In my 9,781 day world, I've never made a smithing table or a stone cutter, apparently. There we go, we've done another unlock of a recipe. There we go, that's all back as it should be. I really don't like this water. I mean, it's just a way to get infinite water source, but I think it needs to go. Once upon a time, it did serve its purpose, and I never really came up with a more elegant way to do it. But I think now, this is just random water. We'll leave that random water underneath. I think now that's how it should be. It just looks nicer not being there rather than being there. This really feels like I'm catching up on all those little odd jobs that should have been finished years ago. And it's just now that I'm getting to them. Anyway, no more doing these little odd jobs. I want to build something new. And that new thing, I've come outside and seen the Shadow and Knuckles. They look awesome. Why did I wait so long to do them? They look really, really cool. I love them. But yeah, the new thing that I want to build is a giant SB737 logo in my world. I've got a penguin statue, and that's about it that represents myself at the moment. So I think if I did a massive SB737 logo, it would look very, very cool. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do it flat or stood upwards. Probably stood upwards, and probably somewhere in this direction, I reckon, as something that's kind of looking over my world. Okay, I've got a vague idea of where I'm going to build it, but before we can even worry about that, it's going to require a lot of materials, mainly concrete, but a few other things. So I think my priority is to gather all of them up. And once I grab just one orange terracotta, I will have absolutely everything for this build, including all of these in the chest. Let's just mine it up. And as for where I'm going to build this logo, I'm thinking just over here in front of this stone farm. The stone farm isn't really something that's nice to look at, so I don't care that being covered, but it'll be just behind the factories. So I think it's the perfect spot. It is going to be massive. It's 200 blocks wide, 200 blocks high. That doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it's absolutely loads. It'll also require so many different types of blocks, so anything that I need multiple ones of, I'm going to keep in this chest. And the starting point is right here, kind of in that tree. Gonna go all the way over there. It might even be longer than 200 blocks. Yeah, this is how wide it's gonna be. And I'll be honest, it is gonna be an absolutely mammoth task because it's a square. So the entire width of that is how tall it's gonna be. It's gonna look amazing though. I cannot wait for it to be done. A giant SB737 logo looking over my world. It's just gonna be beautiful. The layers are steadily going further and further upwards, and I think it would make a really cool time lapse. You can kind of see it's starting to make shape. So that's the blue background, and then there's the bottom of my penguin. And yeah, a more zoomed out view of me building this up will look amazing. And it is done. I bet it looks epic. I bet it looks really, really cool, doesn't it? Oh, yes. My penguin is now looking over the world. I absolutely love it. It's a really, really nice addition. It's way, way bigger than I kind of expected it to be, even though I knew the size of it. But there's 40,000 blocks in there. Yeah, a little bit crazy. I also don't like the way that this beacon beam is blocking it, so I'm going to mine it up. Don't know why I mined the top layer first. It would have made sense if I started from the bottom, then I'd still at least get a little bit of haste from it. But anyway, I'm going to completely mine it up and instead build it behind the logo where it'll be a little bit more out of the way. I also need to reactivate it with haste 2. It's the beacon that works alongside the stone farm there. So it's quite important that it's kept. I'm also going to grab all these extra shulker boxes and the chests. And that's another job in my world that I'm very, very happy with. I feel like that's sometimes an entire video for some YouTubers. And yeah, I decided to do it as a tiny segment of this one. Yeah, I don't know why I take on such crazy projects. But I'm very proud of it at the very least, which is good. I think I'm also going to try and tidy up this automatic crafting setup. It's very handy at the time. Well, it was handy at the time, but now it's just a bit of a mess, isn't it? Maybe it would have been better to have a dedicated machine for that in its own space rather than just filling up the corridor. But anyway, we've got rid of it now. And another little thing that does just absolutely need to be finished is this aquarium room here. I mean, why did I just not finish the other wall? I don't understand. Everything else looks good. We've got turtles, we've got fish, we've got axolotls, and then we've just got random ugly stuff. Yeah, I've really got no idea why. I don't even need to go crazy. I'm not even going to add fish in there or any aquatic mobs because I don't think they necessarily need it. But at the very least, I can grab packed ice. We'll also craft a bit more of it as well. And then I can fill a bunch of it in to make it look like it's actually being built at the very least. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm just going to flood it apparently. I'm going to grab that, put the concrete back, and I think I'm going to turn this glass to also be packed ice. There we go. Nobody needs to know that there was a load of water behind there. And I'm going to make this wall into packed ice as well for now. I know it's not perhaps as good as the axolotls on there, but I just think it's better than nothing. And I don't want to go overboard with it, but I also don't want it to be quite as ugly as it is because I don't know why I just left the walls as I did. I've also run out of packed ice. Maybe that's why I left the walls as it is. Not enough ice. Well, not to... Oh, I tell you what, I just walk out my door and I see my logo. Look at that. It's very, very cool. Anyway, if I've not got enough ice, that's not a problem because... Well, there's no ice in there, but we have got an ice farm. We just got to take this off, and then it works automatically. I just have to hold down left click, hold down the mining. It keeps going along. Then, once I reach the end, it all turns into infinite water sources, and the ice regenerates itself. I've ended up with plenty of packed ice from that. And this wall can then be... What is even here? I don't know why all that stuff's there. We're going to ignore it. But yes, this wall can be completed. Does this room look as good as it could do? I don't think so. But considering I started this over 9,000 days ago, I'm pretty happy that it's at least not showing stone. The walls are done. It's because I left them exposed. Because I just assumed at some point I'd add something there, and then I just never did. So we're going with ice. At least it's kind of partly done. The biggest procrastination award definitely goes to me. And I'll be honest, it's the exact same case with this place as well. It's a bit of a mess. Because I plan to add loads more villagers above. But I've realized that's completely unnecessary. I just don't really have a need. What are all these for anyway? I just don't really have a need for any more villagers or any more trades up there. So I think I'm going to put a bit of a roof over this and complete the staircases as well. So I'm going to need stone bricks, lime wool, and also a bunch of birch slabs as well. So the roof is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to go for something like this at this level and do that all the way, covering this all of it basically. We'll just have a big hidden room above, which no one will need to know about, and no one will need to worry about. I'm not sure how I'm going to make this bit nicer. I think I'll probably need some dark oak log to go around. Do I have... You know what? I've got some spare up there as well, haven't I? Might as well make use of it, instead of it being sat here and doing absolutely nothing. And you know what? I'm taking some glowstone as well. So that can kind of go along there, and then the logs can be above it. I'm liking it. Followed by bricks on the side. Yeah, that's great. Now, I do also think that this... I mean, it's an interesting concept, isn't it? But I think we're going to stick with it. The light green wool, also known as lime wool, can continue with this pattern all the way down. On both sides, of course. And then the stone bricks can be added above. And there we go. We now have something that looks much more finished at the very least. A lot cleaner. Yeah, way, way nicer. And it's another job checked off the list. I'm glad I finally got round to it after all this time. And I feel like there are probably lots of other tiny little things here and there that need doing in this world. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments and I'll try and get them done before 10,000 days so that this place is looking as good as it can be. And then when I make a world download for you guys, it'll be much more finished and it should look really good. But yeah, I like the addition over here and the new statues. And ladies and gentlemen, there are now less than 200 days remaining in Hardcore Minecraft. And when the next Hardcore episode is out, I'll make sure it shows up on your screen right now so that you can watch it.